This movie won 11 Academy Awards. 11! How is this not talked about? Ben-Hur was released in 1959. It was directed by William Wyler, stars Charlton Heston, and an ensemble of extremely talented and award-winning cast. In here, Judah Ben-Hur is during the birth of Christ, and Judah finds that his friend, who is now Roman, betrays him and his family as a show of power, which sets Judah on the path of revenge and eventually an enlightening journey to what he should be. I'm giving you that extremely brief synopsis because this movie is 3 hours long. I have to say that off the bat. It is over 3 hours, and it has a lot of twists and turns along the way, and I don't want to spoil any of those for you. I grew up with Ben-Hur in my house with my family. My dad was the main person in the family who really loved movies. This is one that he watched on repeat a lot, and I remember as a kid not truly understanding it, but as I've gotten older, I've appreciated this movie so much. Ben-Hur is fantastic. This movie is beyond spectacular. It is a cinematic achievement, it is an experience, and it is truly one of the best films ever made. This film stands by today's standards. It's just that good. It truly was an epic. It was a spectacle to see, and if you don't know the history of this movie was made because MGM was going out of business, and they needed a movie to pull them back in, and they used this movie, which went over budget and was insane. And they switched directors because the first one died during production, and somehow this pulled them out of the water. But without all that history and things, let me get to just talking about the film. Charlton Heston as the lead role as Judah Ben-Hur is fantastic. He won an Oscar Award for Best Actor for this, and he deserves it. He in this movie plays so many different emotions so very well. He has to do so much in this movie, and he has to carry this film on his back because he is the lead. He is the movie, and there are scenes where he'll just look a certain way. There's a particular scene right before the intermission in this movie where he goes through 4 emotions in like 35 seconds, and accompanied by the score, the cinematography, the direction, that is one of the most powerful moments in this entire movie. The entire cast in here, Stephen Boyd as Masala, his former friend who now betrays him, is wonderful. He is just evil. He oozes evil. There's this one scene in particular where Judah goes up to him. He's like, "You know my family's not guilty of what you're saying they're guilty of." And he just sits there in the chair this calmly and goes, "I know they're not." And he just doesn't care. And he's wonderful in this role. I got to see this movie on the big screen in a cinema when it was re-released a few years ago, and in IMAX, and it was fantastic. If you ever get to see it that way, please do. I'm going to mention something now that everyone probably has heard of. Positive you have probably, it's on the posters and things, and that is the chariot race. This is such an achievement in practical effects. It is phenomenal stunt work. In fact, considered one of the greatest stunts of all time is in that chariot race, and that's not just the only time. There is a scene on a ship with battles, and that is spectacular amount of stunt work in there. This whole movie is just a show. It's amazing. On top of the performances and the amazing production, as I stated earlier, this has one of the best scores in film history, in my opinion. It is just phenomenal that it won an Oscar, and it just really affects the mood of this movie. This movie, you don't even have to be Christian to like, because there is Jesus in this movie, and he appears in such a powerful way, we never see his face. You only see shots from behind or the side where it's obscured, and you just see the reactions of people who see him. But I'm not lying. Even if you are not religious, which you don't have to be, this movie is fantastic. It's not shoving religion down your throat or anything. Jesus is in the movie, but he's not the focus of it. But this movie teaches such a very good lesson as well about revenge. There's a scene after the chariot race in particular was extremely powerful, and it just hits very hard. This whole movie, in my opinion, is flawless. I think this is one of the best movies of all time. And is it 3 hours? Yes, but it is worth every minute that they put on screen. It's truly one of the reasons that cinema is in existence today. This coming at the tail end of the golden age. And I feel like this was the end of that golden age. This was the Best Picture winner of '59, and I'm just shocked at how great this movie is to this day. It still stands up to me as just a fantastic win for the entire film industry. If you've never seen Ben-Hur, you should go check it out. It's online. You can rent it probably. And it's on physical media too, which is the best way. I was just watching it because it's for a better viewing experience. This movie is just great. I love everything about Ben-Hur, and I can't recommend it enough to you guys. And I'd say watch it, enjoy it, make yourself something to eat, and just relish in the fact that this was made. I'm going to give Ben-Hur 1959 a perfect 10 out of 10. Thank you guys as always so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you all next time.